Hey there, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Happy Sunday. All right, so I hope everybody went to church because we got a bunch of DJs in the crowd today. We're giving away a whole bunch of stuff. We're super excited to have this stream. We're super excited for this interview. I hope all of you enjoy it, and let's Hey there, Desert.
What's going
How are
on?
you doing?
Doing good. Sunday night.
Yeah.
Getting ready for work tomorrow. Get this stream going. How's it going?
Dude. So, are you excited about this one?
I am. I am. I own quite a few risk assets myself.
Yeah, I was gonna say you hold like 10% of the supply or something like that. Isn't that right?
I don't know why you keep telling me that.
All right, he does it.
I own like a fraction of the supply.
All right, so we have some comments rolling in. Hops on Cardano, we love you. Jalisa, we love you. Of course. Holt, Johnny Tran. Oh, yes. Let's get it popping. All right, so everybody that is here right now, we're going to be having a giveaway. And the way that you get entered in the giveaway is by saying hashtag like a boss. We're going to tell everybody again here later. But yeah. So I mean,
yes, you must comment. I don't know if it has to be hashtag, but the thing will pick up like a boss.
Hashtag like a boss.
Hashtag like a boss. Well, then I have to redo we already got one entry.
Oh, is
Hops
it
on Cardano?
Like oh, like a boss. Well, yeah. We'll just have to.
I mean, somebody type in hashtag like a boss.
There we go. Hashtag like a boss. We got it.
That didn't register.
It didn't
Try
register.
hashtag like. Nope. Wait a minute. There we go. Whoever the Schmedley right there. So hashtag like a boss, 3 separate words.
Okay.
And that'll register. Or like a boss, 3 separate words. You got to separate like a boss and it'll register.
Gotcha. So we're just playing with this new little tool we have here. Yeah. It's exciting. Dude, so we're basically famous. I don't know if you saw, but the Ben Armstrong
co-founder.
Yep, shout out to Seji. We love him. But yeah, Ben Armstrong retweeted us the other day when we were talking about bro. And we need to get somebody over from Pulse Chain to come tell us what the heck is going on over there, because I don't get it.
Yes, Corey Costa.
Corey Costa. We're talking to you. Come teach us about Pulse.
I was playing around in Spark Swap today. So I used some of my bro gains, you know what I mean? Switches, bought a little pulse. So what did I do? I staked a little pulse and sparkler on Spark Swap. I'm farming some pulse and some spark, and I created this thing. So this thing is called a vault. It's kind of cool. They're like redefining DeFi over there.
Oh, interesting.
So you can choose. Well, we might have to do a live stream on this.
We are going to have to. We're going to have Corey Costa. Cool. Maybe we'll ask them to come on and tell us about their platform, because what I was really curious about is I was like, did Desert go over there and stake his hex for 35 years?
No. No, I did not. I don't own any hex.
Okay.
I staked some pulse, and I don't even know what all that freaking means. Like, you got halt, or you got hex, you got pulse, you got pulse X, you got. It's like I don't even know what's going on over there. So
Hexicans, we need your help. We're calling on
you.
The
Hexicans.
Yes. We're just some Cardano not Maxie's, but like we're pretty close. So teach us about the other side. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Uh-oh.
All right. Anyways, so without further ado, we got to bring up our guest, which I'm really excited about. So, like, you hold some risk gaming assets, you said? I've got a
Yes.
warthog. So, if
I
anybody
have
wants to send me anything else, it's $Lou Creativity, right? And I will accept any other additional risk assets.
Yes. I hold I hold a few tanks. I hold 4 horsemen, one of each. I own a skeleton elite 8, and then I have the blue OG pass. Is what
That's
I hold.
fantastic.
So,
all right. So, let's bring him up. All right. So, Ultimate, are you ready? Here we go. Hey there, Ultimate. How are we doing? Oh, man.
What's up, you guys? How you doing?
On them.
Yes, sir. Desert Crypto, John Carter. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you guys. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Dude, thank you for coming out.
Yeah, man. Desert Crypto, shout out to you, bro. You got a nice little stack of risk assets there, my man. That's impressive.
I'm not going to lie. I took some profit. I had a lot more.
Good.
But I made sure. So when I scaled down, I needed some liquidity. But when I scaled down, I made sure I kept my Skelly Elite 8. And then I got the 4 horsemen roll. So I have one of each, you know, the bear, the rhino. I'm going to fuck this up. The bear, the rhino.
The lion and the bull, baby.
There we go. The lion. Damn it. and then I have the blue OG. And I think I got 2 tank free mints. And then I minted another one because I had the blue OG, and then I had the tank chain.
There you go.
So I got the other free, and then I minted one. So
very, very good. Hey, listen, holding on to an Elite 8 is good, man. Those are hard to make right now. So you know, with Ultimate Domination coming out, that game coming out, those assets are going to be cracking. So we're excited to see everything we're building start to come to fruition. This is a great time to be on your show, by the way. There's a lot going on.
Dude, we're so
That's
excited.
Awesome. And we are excited to hear about it.
So first we have to step back, right? So Mr. Ultimate, right? Because you have the Mr. there. I was just going to say Ultimate, but I'm going to say the Mr. because the Mr's there. So tell us a bit about yourself, man. So like before crypto and everything, tell us about your life. Like, were you a barista somewhere, you know, making people's coffee? Like, what was your life, you know, before crypto? Were you working at McDonald's, like all the memes? You know what I mean?
No, so actually, I actually used to own my own restaurant. I've been in the restaurant business my whole life. My mom and I mean, I was raised as a child in the restaurant business. So, I've worked my whole life in a restaurant. I'm still currently working in a restaurant, but I'm no longer owning a restaurant. That's something I will never do again. It's just a lot of work. But yeah, I'm a restaurant guy. I'm a people person, which is really funny because like when you start delving into Web3, you know, you don't have like those face-to-face personal relationships. You can get on a camera like this and you can talk. And I do that with people like all the time. But, you know, my real background is being a people person. So, you know, thankfully that part of me has transposed over to this because this is a people business, you know, even though you're not face-to-face, it's all about people, you know, and so that's my greatest life skill. You learn a lot, you know, when you're dealing with a lot of different people on a daily basis. And I mean, that's really who I am in the background. This Web3 stuff is like, I'm learning stuff every day. I was talking to you guys a little earlier before we got on the stream. And, you know, the tech part of this is something that I'm still learning and relying on a lot of other people to help me with the tech stuff. But at the end of the day, man, I'm just a people person.
No, that's awesome. Now, I have a lot of my history was like fine dining and stuff. I'm actually like an expert in specifically mezcals and tequila. So like mezcals, tequila, and bourbon. I'm your guy for that. But I love fine dining. I love the food. I love the atmosphere. I love the idea of anticipating what somebody wants to experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, the restaurant that I work in now, I'm somewhere between a fine dining server, but like more like casual fine dining, and I really like it. It's hard work. This restaurant is madness sometimes, but I enjoy waiting tables and anticipating the needs of people who are out there to have like a 3, 4, 5 course meal, nice bottle of wine, stuff like that. I took my skills as a server and a restaurant owner and transposed them over to this job that I have now, which I was actually very lucky to get because it was not easy to get hired at the place I'm working at. But I think they took a look at like my resume, my extensive resume, and they're like, oh, we're going to make room for you. And now I'm one of their top servers. So it's my IRL job, and it takes away from Web3, but at the same time, it allows me to, pay those monthly bills. Living in Southern California ain't cheap for anyone who lives down here or knows about it. So you got to have multiple sources of income. That's how you get to where you're going in life. So that's what I do.
Have to.
See, I'm like the exact opposite of you guys. I used to be a server and I freaking hated it. Probably because I worked at crappy restaurants. I didn't have nice restaurants. You know what I mean? I probably worked at crappy restaurants. I hated dealing. The serving is cool. It's all the other stuff. After the shift, you got to do the roll-ups. You got to marry condiments. You got to make sure clean everything. And this, I was like, man, I already made my tips. I'm ready to go. You know what I mean?
He's the guy that doesn't do the shift work. Oh my
the
gosh.
shift work. There
You're
we go.
the kind of guy that used to drive me crazy in the restaurant that I used to own.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah.
That's funny.
No, but you're doing.
I just
cool
couldn't
stuff,
do it.
though.
I just
No.
hated it.
But you're doing some cool stuff now. You're building stuff, like, you know what I mean? Desert.
Oh yeah, we're building some stuff. I mean,
Well,
I have to give a shout out to the team that I have around me. Obviously, my partner Johnny Tran, our community manager Crash, and the great media person that he is, that is Showtime, and all the people that are in our project and everything. We've got a great team, man. And so like we all kind of operate independently, but we all rely on each other for a lot. So I'm building, but it's like we're building. To be honest with you, it's man, there's people in our project that do a lot of work, and shout out to every single one of them.
That's amazing. So, Desert, I think you should toss him one of those, left questions. One of those special ones.
One of the left. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So you're in the restaurant industry. I'm gonna steal John's question, actually, make him come up with a different one. You're in the restaurant industry. What is your go-to? You can go anywhere, you can eat anything. They don't have to be at the same restaurant. Your go-to entree and dessert.
Yeah, and you got to paint a picture. I want to know what temperature is the steak. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I'm a meat and potatoes kind of guy. So you get me going with a good steak and a big potato, I'm a happy guy. I also have a full array of sweet teeth in my mouth. So I'm all about dessert. The restaurant I work at, we got a lot of good desserts. It's an Italian restaurant, so we have a lot of Italian desserts, and I've come to really like a lot of stuff like that. Cakes and gelatos and stuff like that. But if I had one go-to, I probably would go with the Monte Rosa cake. It's got these berries on top. See, I'm making myself hungry. I just got off work a few hours ago, and I'm always from work still hungry. But I'm a big Italian food guy. But man, give me a good hot steak and a big fat baked potato and maybe some rice, a lot of carbs. I'm a happy guy.
No, that's awesome.
Nice.
That sounds delicious. No, look, tiramisu. Look, that is
yes. I was just gonna highlight that.
It's one of my favorites. And if somebody can really make a good tiramisu and they actually are using that mascarpone cheese, you know what I mean? If it's if it's done well, oh my gosh. Anyways,
dude, I work in a restaurant where these guys, they're legit Italians. They're from the Amalfi Coast out there. There's Florida owners, and they run a very, very Italian restaurant, and our tiramisu is award winning. So it's funny because I'm always, when people ask me hey, what's the best thing? If you're going to recommend something on this extensive dessert menu, I always tell them to hit the tiramisu first, and the Monte Rosa would be my second.
Jeez. Now,
nice.
Yeah, one of my things is dude, chicken and gnocchi, or just gnocchi in general. Gnocchi with some braised beef on. Oh my gosh! No, okay, I gotta stop. All right, we gotta change the topic. Yeah,
I guarantee you, we're making everybody hungry right now.
Yeah. No, I'm sure. I'm sure. No, I love food. That's one of my favorite things. But one of the other questions, right, that I always ask on most all of my shows. So this means that if you come on Loot Creativity, I'm gonna have to figure out. We're gonna have to get two different questions. But so the second question is always, what is your favorite movie? Because I'm a movie buff, so I will judge you harshly. So as long as you don't pick wrong, You know, as long as you don't express the wrong opinion, you'll slide through fine. You know.
If I have to pick one movie that's my favorite movie of all time, it's going to be Braveheart.
Oh, okay.
That movie, everything about it. I mean, it's just one of the best movies, production, everything about it. Braveheart is at the top of my list. I'm also a big fan of the Transformers. Unfortunately, most of them sucked, but the first one was epic because I grew up as an 80s kid playing with the toys. I love the original Transformers movie. And if I have to go with a third, even though you didn't ask me to, I'm going to have to go with Goonies. I'm a big Goonies fan too. So
Goonies is a good one.
Yeah, I hope I'm not too harsh. I see Hops in there saying Inception. I'm sorry, did I watch Inception once? I'll never watch that movie again. I can't deal with the mind F. You know what I mean?
Oh gosh,
that is a mind-blowing movie right there.
Like, oh my, okay, maybe I'll do that another day.
That's got to be. So that means. So I seen Hop said Inception. So I believe that tells me that's Unforgettable behind that name right there.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Is that right?
I remember that interview. Yeah, that was a beautiful interview. Also, shout out to Unforgettable, dude. We love you, dude. You're amazing. Yes. We love you. And, you know, Moose, if you're out there in your sandals, you know, we love you too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, big shout out to Johnny Tran too. He, my partner, my co-founder in Risk. He's in the chat as well.
No, absolutely. We love Johnny Tran.
Yes, sir.
Legend.
We are.
Sir.
Oh man, I did it like a loser sign. That wasn't my intention. I just, you know, I'm just over here. But Johnny Tran, we love you. And Seji's a huge fan as well. Yeah. And then Seji says Tommy Boy is a classic.
Tommy Boy is a classic. Fat guy in a little coat.
Dude, and we got Pizza Mike in the chat from the Twitters.
Pizza Mike.
I mean, we got the whole crew out. Everybody's out here right now.
Dude, we're surrounded by legends and Risk. Man, we got some heavy hitters up in here.
So I need to try to get maybe we'll figure out how I can get Johnny Tran on another one. That'll be exciting.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about that. What got you into crypto? Like, how did you get here from where you were before? Like, what brought you into this space?
So I'm a big fan of gold and silver. I was a gold and silver bug for a long time, dating back all the way to my grandfather. I believe that gold and silver are real money. We've got some economic issues with the dollar that we're all aware of at this point. It's not, you know, conspiracy theory or whatever. You know, we got trouble being $35 trillion in debt. So I've been a big gold and silver person for a long time. And I've watched a lot of YouTube videos on gold and silver, but you know, it really wasn't doing much. And I kept hearing this one channel that I was on. I followed these guys. I can't remember who they are anymore, but they were talking about Bitcoin, and I'd heard of Bitcoin. You know, this is in 2017, by the way. And so one day they were talking about Bitcoin. It was like $500. And then the next time I tuned in and they were talking about Bitcoin and it was $1,800. And I was like, what? You know? And so it's like the degen in me was born that day. I'll be honest with you. The degen was born that day.
You said, I'm selling my house. I'm selling my kids. I'm selling my cats.
I went out there and I have no technical prowess. I'm not good at anything on the internet or technical anything. So I went out there and I figured out how to buy a Bitcoin. So I did. I bought a Bitcoin at, I'll never forget. It was $1,849. I bought a whole Bitcoin. This was No. This was in late 2016. So I was like early, but not early enough. But then I started learning about crypto. Like, I mean, that's all I looked at was crypto. And at the time, you could only buy other cryptos with Bitcoin, I believe. And so I started aping into like, you know, all kinds of altcoins, and I started doing, you know, really well on some of them, and some of them were trash. But then Cardano kind of came along, I think in like early 2018 or late 2017. I can't remember exactly when, but I started buying Cardano at like 3 cents, 6 cents, stuff like that. And that was it. I became a crypto guy. And I was out there, and I was, when I get behind something and I'm very passionate about it, naturally, I'm just going to do what I do. And so I started talking to my friends and family. I started telling people, like, it clicked for me immediately that Bitcoin, if you're just looking at Bitcoin itself, the peer-to-peer, everything about it spoke to me wildly about how successful and how big crypto itself and Bitcoin itself was going to be. And so I started telling everybody about it. And so then I just started, one day I decided to wake up and do a YouTube channel. I had no YouTube experience, none of that stuff, because I was telling everyone the same thing over and over. I said, as I started making these little videos, I started telling people, go watch my YouTube channel and educate yourself on crypto. You can thank me later. This is financial advice. I was telling my families and friends. So that's how I got into crypto. And then I started messing around with some NFTs for a while. I was a big fan of Elliot Trades. I watched his YouTube channel, and I was like,
talking about him earlier
stuff, And so I bought some NFTs on Ethereum. You didn't know anything what I was doing. I lost like 8 or 9, 10 ETH messing around with that. And I became a big fan of Cardano along the whole way because I understood what Cardano was doing and the evolution of what they were trying to achieve. And so, I'd heard about Cardano NFTs, and I didn't really do anything with it because I already had a bad taste in my mouth from Ethereum. But then one day I just said, I'm going to go check this whole thing out. This was right around the time, like right when Boss Cat Rocket Club was first coming on the scene, and it blew up and everything. So I got big into BCRC, and it started blowing up. I'm like, this is great. And so, like I said, the degen was born in me with crypto, but then it fully fledged into what it is now, and loving my little JPEG cats and dogs and turtles and all kinds of good stuff out there. So that's the short story of how I got to being here.
That's funny.
Nice.
So, are you married?
I am.
Okay, so the reason is because you were talking about all the stuff about the money, right? The devaluation of currency and all that. And I made this tweet the other day, and it was not well received. I mean, I guess like relatively to some other tweets. But what I said was, having an affair is easier to explain to my wife than blockchain, zero knowledge proofs, this, that, and the other, right? Like, she gets so annoyed, I guess, with me because like I'm constantly, busy. And she's like, playing on your phone,
Where's my wife? Honey, where are you?
Yeah, right. And so like anyways, I was just gonna say, like, that's just kind of how I feel, going into the devaluation of currency and that, like, it's like that conversation that once you cross the threshold of you've taken the pills of crypto, like you can't unsee that, and then it makes almost, hey there.
That's me if I was married now. This is my beautiful Mrs. Ultimate right here.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Hey, Ultimate, how you doing?
No, I was just explaining to them that like I tweeted the other day that like having an affair would be easier to explain to my wife than all the crypto stuff that I do on the daily, right? But like, of course, as a joke. But like I talk about like the valuation of currency and everything else, you know what I mean? And it's just like one of those conversations that like,
yeah, when people ask me what my husband does for work, I'm just like,
you're like everything at the same time.
Yeah,
like, the online crypto stuff, the cutting edge of the economy and all that.
Yeah, and of course our little tradable cats and dogs, we love that too.
The JPEGs.
Yeah.
And then you watch their eyes glaze over.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally.
They're like, you spent how much on a picture of a monkey? You know what I mean?
Yep.
I trust him.
The cool thing about my wife, man, even though she doesn't understand a lot of this stuff, and I explain stuff to her all the time, but she supports what I do. It's like you were saying earlier, the amount of work that we do and how busy we are all the time, it will impact your home. It'll impact your family. It's very, very hard to achieve balance. And then you toss in all the IRL stuff that everybody has going on before you know it, you're always busy. So I'm shout out to my wife for supporting me. She's never, ever once been in my way. She's never detracted from what I do. She's always been supportive, and she's seen me go through a range of emotions. And so, she's a legend. Without her, I would not be here doing what I do. So,
well, she stayed with you through the bear market,
awesome.
And you said, hey, it's going to come back. It's going to come back. And then she said, when? And she's
I won't have to explain to her anything about any affairs anytime soon. So I'll just get her on crypto.
No, absolutely. No, I love it. No, that's
nice.
Fantastic. That made me so happy, honestly.
She's a legend, dude. She's amazing.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I was saying the other day also, like me and Desert, we made some really good money on Bro, right? And then so we were excited about that. And I was saying, like crypto stuff, my wife like just isn't with it. But then, when I went to the ATM and I took out like $1,200 from some meme coin on Pulse Chain, she's like, oh, that's cool. Like, keep playing on the computer then, I guess.
Yeah, right. Show me results.
Yeah. As long as the money keeps coming in, she'll be cool with it.
Yeah. No, but I love her. She's great.
Thank you, Spencer, by the way. Yes, she is stunning. Yes, she's my queen.
And then let me see. This one was made me laugh. Oh.
Don't get Mike in trouble, John.
Anyways. All right. So
hey, a woman's perspective, Jaleesa knows what's up.
She says, buy me dinner. Thanks. It's your job. Yeah.
That's
So,
awesome. Yeah, I had not the same, but I started when it came to NFTs. I started off in Ethereum, spent ridiculous amount of ETH on gas fees, rugs, this, and that. And then about the same time, so like Lazy Llamas, Boss Cats, when those came out, is when I came to Cardano. And I was like, you're telling me I can mint 3 NFTs for the gas fee on Ethereum? I was like, oh, game on. And I haven't left, you know?
Yeah.
So, but it seems like, to me, it seems like the money is not here, though. I know we went through this during last cycle. Everybody's like, well, we got to put higher prices. If we want big money, we need higher prices. We tried that, and then like nobody, you'd have like 300, 400, 500 ADA mints when it was like $2, and then they wouldn't mint out. So people started lowering their prices. And now we're down at, just under 50 cents. And if you try a 200 mint right now at under 50 cents, it's not going to go anywhere. I mean, the tanks did good, but even with as much as you guys are offering with the tanks, it still took a day or two to mint out the tanks. You know what I mean?
As a matter of fact, we didn't mint out the tanks. I think we still have like 85 or 89 or something like that left.
Oh.
And we're going to actually open that back up when we get ready to release the Ultimate Domination game. We're going to mint out the rest of those tanks because people are going to need those tanks to really like have a lot of advantages in the game. So we actually didn't, and that was the first one that we didn't mint out. The Horseman minted out. Minted out, and we were minting out and these assets at a time when we're still in a very deep, NFT bear market, which we all will circle around. But the tanks were the first ones to not mint out, and they had a much higher price, absolutely. But there was only 1,111 of them, and
a lot of those were free actually.
Yeah, that's the thing. We gave away like 550 of those for free. We gave away a lot of free stuff with every mint that we do. That's the thing. We structured our whole project around the community winning. Because we know, and John and I know, we've been in here for a long time now. Without a community, you don't have anything. You don't have any support. You don't have a structure. You don't have anything. So giving back is important. But we'll mint out the rest of those NFTs when the time is right. But it's just we're waiting for things to circle back around. We believe that the people who are building and working and getting things built, like building games, we know gaming is going to be a huge narrative. Getting people into Cardano, especially new first-time users, having fun playing games. Look at what Bank's developing. Look what Risk is developing. All these things. Like, we want to make Cardano bigger. You said there's a lack of liquidity. There is a lack of liquidity, and we'd like to change that. Everybody's got to do their part to help that change, and I think gaming is going to be a big part of that.
See, we have a counter opinion on that. I'll let you take it away, John.
So I don't have any problem saying this because I hold probably 5 or 6 of these that are now worth nothing. But the whole concept is that I feel like a lot of times, I'm not saying that you all aren't building something because we know you are, so it's different. But a lot of NFT projects that say that they're a gaming project, that's the whole thing. You need a lot of money to build a game. So they'll mint something expensive, make a bunch of money, right? And then they basically promise a game that they're building forever, and then it never actually comes out. So I'm not going to name all these projects because maybe they're not actually fully dead, but as far as my you know what I mean, wallet is concerned, they're basically dead. But there are a lot of those projects that have come up, and they'll show a trailer of something that they're building, and then they actually never anything comes to market. We've been kind of excited about a relationship that we have now with Ascent Rivals, which Ascent Rivals is a Cardano based game that is new. Not a lot of people know about it too much, but they have some awesome backers, and they actually have their alpha and their beta out already, so you can play it. But a lot of these NFT projects, they're hey, we're gonna build a game, and then it's eventually it's gonna take 4 years, and then
the one we always
they're in Bali sipping Mai Tais, and the Discord is quiet.
Well,
the one we like to rag on is.
I think there's 2 projects that are going to change that, and it's predominantly right now. It's going to be Risk and it's going to be Bank. And I think if you look at it's the team, it's the desire, it's the connections, it's the partnerships that you form, and the actual true belief in Cardano and your community that's supporting you, and belief in what you're building and why you're building it. And so that even motivates me even more to be one of the people, the catalyst to change that. Because I'll tell you, like, being part of the process every week and being on the calls with the devs and making sure this game comes out the way we want, it's already taken us longer than we wanted it to. It's already cost more money than we thought it was going to cost, but the show goes on, and you either complete something and you make something of it, or you look back at a failure. And none of us in this space want to look back and see any sort of failures involved, because we're not letting us down. We're letting everybody who supports us down. So we're already motivated. The cool thing about Johnny and I is, when we talked about doing this, because I've got Ultimate CNFT, I've got my VIP passes, I've got still other aspirations we can talk about that later if you guys want, but more aspirations in the space and everything. But Johnny also has the Royal Chess Club. He's one of the co-founders of Royal Chess Club. And, so we have stuff going on. So when we got together, we're like, we're not going to start a project and rely on the funding that we're bringing in. We're going to be able to fund this and go the distance regardless of how the NFTs do, how the token does, and all that stuff. And so Johnny and I we had that frank conversation, and we've lived up to that. We've been able to bring in money with the NFTs, of course, the minting of the token and everything. But we're a well-funded organization, and you need funds to develop and to build games. And we're very fortunate to have that. But that was something that we had committed to individually with each other first before we even started doing Risk, because we knew what it was going to take. And I'll be honest with you, it's taken even more than we anticipated. So because of that, we're going to be rocking, man.
No, I love it.
So that's kind of the premise that we're basing our idea on, is that games are super expensive. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people don't understand that coming. I do believe gaming will be the future. It will help. It will be one of the catalysts that projects us into the future and mass adoption. I totally agree with that. I just think there's too many people that come in and, like John said, oh, NFT game, you know what I mean? And then they mint out, and then they're like, oh,
we don't have enough money.
We got to figure out what's going on. We like to rag on Cornucopias. Cornucopia's great project. Cornucopia's had 50 mints, and now they're going to base. You know what I mean?
No, 50 more over there. They'll finish the game in 10 years, and they'll all die millionaires.
Right. So it's not like it's just more of a generalized, gaming. If somebody says gaming, it's a red flag. Not a red flag. Let me rephrase that. Not a red flag. If somebody says gaming, do your damn research to see what they're talking about. There we go. I guess that's better. But I mean, we love Risk. I mean, I wouldn't hold all these assets if I didn't believe in what you guys were building. You know what I mean? So we want to make sure we're not taking a shot at you or bank, because I hold bank assets also.
Hey, and
we're just saying a generalized thing. Too many people. It's like that. It's a buzzword. Oh, we're gonna build a game. We're last cycle. What was it? Metaverse. Yeah. Oh, it's a metaverse. It's a metaverse. This cycle, it's a game. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it doesn't come out,
One of the reasons
I just wanted to clear that up.
And that's a fair, that's an actual legitimate valued opinion. And there's a couple things here. One reason I believe gaming is going to be big is because you're going to look at that narrative in crypto first. There's going to be a lot of big multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar even asset companies that are going to be targeting gaming. So that is going to be a buzzword, so to speak, for crypto projects as well as NFT projects. Yeah. So it depends on what you're building. And I wouldn't just go set out to just build a game and build a game. I don't know anything about building a game. I'm learning. Right. On the fly right now, but it's because of what Risk is. I wanted to take something that I enjoyed as a kid that I think a lot of people, especially in a certain age demographic, everybody's heard of I'd say not everybody, but a lot of people have heard of the board game Risk. And so I wanted to take that, bring it into Web3, integrate NFTs into it, and get it to where you can earn money by having advantages in the game and risking your token against everybody, player to player live. So the concept is great, I think, and it's just a matter of completing the task, getting the game up there. I think people are really going to enjoy playing the game, especially if people have already played the game Risk. But even if you've never played, like just the way we're going to be doing things with the in-game advantages, the items you can purchase and stuff, and integrating your NFTs, making them valuable, getting it to where we're building a system where people can rent some of these NFTs if they can't afford to get a whole Elite 8 set or 3 tanks, stuff like that. So it's really like I'm having a lot of fun watching it develop, and yeah, it's gonna be fun, man.
So I want to say something real quick. So first I want to say, dude, awesome. And shout out to Lil Thunder, because we love Lil Thunder. He also has a bazooka, so we're really bullish on the project, and we would never say anything otherwise publicly. But I'm joking. We love Lil Thunder. He's awesome. We love Bank. We're big holders. But I also wanted to take a moment because everybody in the chat has been saying spill the beans. So I think that we
what's the beans?
Another giveaway for people that put spill the beans, right? So we'll have, multiple giveaways. So somebody will win for saying like a boss, and somebody will win for saying spill the beans. So if you guys start spamming spill the beans in the chat, maybe we'll get some beans spilled about the tanks.
I want to give a couple shout outs real quick. Johnny Tran in here talking about it's going to be soul crazy soon. I don't know. That's the only beans I can look at. Listen, I got a whole pot of beans and I'm not allowed to spill the majority of them. I'm sorry. There are beans that I can't spill yet, but I got some beans, but not all of them. I want to give a shout out to my boy real quick too. Where did he go? The Bully Market. That's my boy right there. He's doing some things too. Keep an eye on what Bully Market's doing. Talk about making some beans and spilling some beans. It's about to be a soul train up in here at some point, folks. So that's all I can give you for now. But let's get back to the tanks. All right. So, it's nothing that people don't know. These NFTs are going to give you different advantages in the game. Now, the tanks operate separately because we've got the horsemen and we've got the hogs, and you create these entire sets. And in the game of Risk, if you own continents, you lock down that whole continent, you get extra men per turn. The goal is obviously to conquer the entire board game and win. And the people who are entering these games, it's because it's going to be a max of up to 6 players playing against each other. You're going to be entering and posting up, you're going to be risking your Risk tokens. So if you win the game, you win those Risk tokens. So the goal obviously is to make that token as valuable as possible. In many ways, there's lots of ways to do that, adding burns and all kinds of cool stuff. But the tanks, having 3 tanks in the game is going to be highly advantageous because of what they're going to be able to do to your opponent and just laying waste to people. So that's, again, why I alluded earlier to trying to build a system to where, because we got a lot of people who hold a lot of assets. I think we have one person, shout out to Jixon. He's got like over 50 tanks, I think, or something like that.
Oh, geez.
There's another person.
Send me one, Jixon.
There's so many people that have so many assets, and it's like you only need 3. You can only use 3 in the game. Sure, you can hold on to them and wait to try to flip these maybe later at a higher price, but we want to get a rental system so people can actually, have that advantage, and the people who are holding the NFTs can make a little bit of passive income doing that kind of stuff. So that's sort of alpha. I mean, the people in our group, they all know that very well because people who are in our Discord every day, they're up on all the information we've got going on. But I have to be honest with you guys, there's stuff in the background that Johnny and I are working about that we're not even ready to talk about for months on end because we got more things going than just the UD game. And of course, we got RWP. We haven't even mentioned RWP yet.
Now I'm glad I minted that 3rd tank.
Yeah, that's
what I was just minting one to mint one. I was like, I got 2 free. The least I can do is mint one.
Hang on,
I minted one. All right.
We love it. We love it. All right. So I guess let's put a reverse Uno card on the table right now. So
reverse Uno.
Ask us a question. You get to ask me and Desert a question, right?
Yeah.
So we'll let you be the interviewer for this one.
I'd be happy to. So we were talking a little bit, and I actually had learned a lot more about you guys in the last couple of hours. And I've known about, what used to be JPEG Junkies, now JPEG Empire. And, the task that it takes to take a project over as a community and now become the head of that community to run that project, kind of building from the ashes, so to speak. What's it like, being in that driver's seat and like how prominent were you guys involved in JPEG Junkies before it became JPEG Empire to take this and kind of just rebuild it? That's a task. That's a tall task, and you guys have done well so far.
I'll let Desert go first.
So prominent in the community, I'm like ashamed to say this. I was like a DZ and them apologist when it started going in. I was like, nah, this ain't true. And I defended and defended and defended. And I was like, nah, just, hold the line, trying to keep the community together. And then the DAO came out and I was like, oh. And then I don't remember what it was. Something specific happened. I think I caught him in a space and he said something. I was like, wait a minute, that's not fucking right. That's not. And then I was like, you know what? This freaking, and then I turned on him. Boom. And then eventually Seji took over. So they turned it over into a DAO, which is, I mean, another one of them buzzwords. It's a DAO. No, it's not a DAO. DAOs are legal entities that have filed paperwork that are, take a lot of, you can't just call it a DAO. That doesn't make it a DAO.
And it has a structure for voting, right? And for making things actually progress forward.
When you got 50 people just throwing out random ideas with no implementation and no willingness to do anything, they want you to do it. That's not a DAO, But then Seji took over, and then so talking with Seji in the background, and I was hesitant to like step up. I told him I would help out, this and that. But then I finally stepped up, and we were like, and then John stepped up. We had another council member before John stepped up. He had to step away for real life, in real life stuff, just his time he wasn't able to put in the time, So then John stepped up, and we're like, listen, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. You know what I mean? We put it to a vote with the community. We said, hey, this is what's going on. You guys know us. You know what we're doing. We want to put it to a vote that you guys give us control of everything. You know what I mean? Because we can't have a community vote every time we got to hire a dev, or every time we got to make a split decision, every time we got to get and that's another thing. It took us like 6 months to get the keys to everything.
Wow.
It was crazy. Oh yeah. We were fighting for the Twitter keys, fighting with the policy IDs, trying to get JPEG store. We had to set up new royalties wallet, new treasury wallet. It was crazy. And so we put it to the vote, and the community was like, yes, we see what you guys are doing. Go ahead, take control, do what you got to do. Let's get this moving. So as soon as that happened, boom, we filed LLC paperwork in Wyoming to set up a legal entity. So we are now JPG Empire LLC. And then the junkies fall under that, and the new boss mint will fall under that. And then the website and anything going forward all falls under that. You know what I mean? We and then we just started turning it around. I don't know exactly, man. It seems like so long ago.
A lot of time, yeah, has passed.
Right? It seems like so long ago. Like a week in crypto is like 6 months.
Yeah.
Dog years.
That's basically where we're at right now. So we got we did it pretty much all ourselves because we didn't have no money. I think when we got it, we had about 20,000 ADA, or like 22,000 ADA, and we dumped some in SNEC, or I think the SNEC, we already had the SNEC. So then SNEC pumped, we cashed out half the SNEC. So we ended up having like 25,000 ADA, and then we got, I don't even know how much SNEC, but we got probably about 4,000 or 5,000 ADA worth of SNEC at the time. And so we're like, we gotta pinch pennies. You know what I mean? I went on YouTube. I was like, how do I build a website? I go on YouTube. All right, let's WordPress. Super simple. Drag, drop, click, pop, pop, pop. It's just like, so I built the little web page, jpegempire.com. We got that up and running, which was already more than what the original founders did. You know what I mean? And then we just started setting everything up. Got the contract signed with the dev, got the contract signed with the artist, got the Twitter verified.
Started over.
Just started over. Got the roadmap out, started getting structure within the community, changing. I think changing to JPG Empire was probably the single best thing we did, because anytime, that's kind of the reason that some of the previous council members left, was because the junkies, they would go on a space and it would just be attack. Oh,
Same.
you're a scammer, you're a rug puller, you're this, you're that. And it's like, these dudes didn't do anything. They're like, hey, we're the recovery crew. You know what I mean? It made a couple of our council members, they're like, I can't deal with this. I got to go, you know? And it was like jeopardizing their positions in other projects. Even. You know, they were like, oh, that guy is with the JPEG Junkie. He's a scammer. He can't be in this project. So that was the main thing. Rebrand, get it under umbrella, and then
build something.
Yeah, just build. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a lot to explain.
We were blessed with our dev. He's
Yes.
founder of a bunch of different Web3 projects like Mint Pass and Quarter Machine and some really interesting Web3 things. He builds on a lot of different stuff, but he has been able to advise us on a lot of different things, help us build that path forward. But the bar was low. So really, when we build what we've decided to build and what we're almost through building, I think that everybody's going to be pretty excited about the fact that we said we're building something and then we're building it. So kind of similar to the gaming stuff. Like
exactly, you set out to do what you're going to do, and you go do it. And I mean, it's no easy task to start. It's easier to start from scratch, in my opinion, than it is to start from something that had a fallout like you guys, went through and everything. And I mean, I know I've talked to and I've worked with a lot of people who have been in that similar situation. It's one of the hardest things to do. It's hard enough as it is to build from scratch, let alone to like shed an old image and create a new image and take what you have and work with it. So, shout out to you guys. You saved a project. Anyone who's out there saving a project is doing the space a big up on that. Like we don't need any more rug pulls and people disappearing. And the problem is when you leave a bad taste in somebody's mouth, you're either losing that person, but that circle of influence could be like, it could grow. We're trying to grow Cardano. We're not trying to shrink Cardano. So anyone who's working hard to save a project and rebuild and just do something special with it always will have my respect, especially if you're working hard, engaging the community. And it's like we talked about earlier, it takes time away from your families, and it's a lot of work out here being in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. And it definitely would have been a lot easier just to start a project.
A lot of people have asked that. A lot of people ask,
man,
why didn't we start our own project instead of doing this? But it was really like the community. Also, like it was mind-boggling because you imagine who those people were, and then like how many people of a following that they had. They literally didn't have to do much to have something be successful, in my mind, right? They started from a lot higher place than where we have taken it from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but
we did finally. So he was on the Machinist. DZ was on the Machinist, and the Machinist hit him with some good questions. I don't agree with DZ's answers, but he was truthful for the most part.
And
you know what I mean? When he finally broke it down. And I put in there, I was like, hey, we accept your apology. Essentially, I accepted his apology. But what I said was like, don't necessarily agree with what you said, with your reasoning, but we accept your apology. Let's move on. And this is probably the first time we've openly talked about it since that. Because we don't try to, people try to bring it up. Oh, why don't you sue him? Why don't you do this? Why don't you? It's like, listen.
No, just move forward. Move forward.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you're a holder. You could sue them. We don't have, we're not going to empty the treasury to sue these people over some.
Right.
I mean, there ain't even standing really, is there? You know what I mean? It's like, come on, let's just go forward. We're past it. The more you dredge it up, then it goes in people's minds. If you quit talking about it, people forget about it.
Totally. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And another thing is, we found out how freaking expensive everything is. Oh my God. Everything.
Yep.
From devs, and it's all the little things.
Yep. It adds up.
Yeah. People don't understand. They're like, oh, well, where'd the ADA go? Well, let me tell you where the ADA went. It went.
We got the receipts.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny, man.
All right. So I have another question. I want to know, like, what for you, Mr. Ultimate, has been, do you think, the most challenging thing to deal with like since you've been a part of Risk and since you all have been building, like what has been the most challenging thing about being in Web3 and like building on that project, do you think?
Probably working with my partner, Johnny Tran. He's really difficult. You know, everything has to be his way all the time. And the guy just gives me nightmares, dude. I don't know what to do about that guy. No, I'm really kidding. Johnny's freaking, he's the best part of what I've been doing. I joke, but I'll be honest with you. So the hardest thing for me is like, you know, okay, we're talking about building a game, right? You know, we have certain timelines, and look, we've got a great team of devs. We have a huge team of devs. These guys are doing a really good job. I think that when you look at something on the surface and you start to estimate maybe how much time something will take to develop before you begin developing it, and then you start to realize that that's not really possible because of A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z. And you start to realize that, hey, it takes, you know, it's going to take more time than maybe I want or our community wants. Or, you know, some of the things that we've talked about, I've learned a lot about maybe like kind of keeping timelines, I think a little bit more closer to the chest and starting to only reveal things as they're really able to be shown to people. It's not an impatience thing. It's just that I know that this vision and what we're working on is going to be so freaking awesome. I want it now. I want it yesterday. And so having to sit there and wait, and basically to sum it up, it's having to depend on other people, because when you start outsourcing work and when you take things out of your hands, because when things are in our hands, we tend to do really, really good with that. We're very, you know, logistic with our timelines, and we have a lot of conversations in the background of what this is going to take and what that's going to take when we're the creating of NFTs, all the things that we've done in-house, we've done very well and executed. It's when you start outsourcing things and other people, you're just depending on them. And sometimes, you know, you want things quicker than they are. So I think that's the kind of the hardest part, because we're ready to like unleash, you know, the two biggest parts, I think, of what we're building at Risk. That's Riskwise Pro, and that's the ultimate domination game. And they're both, you know, closer every day. I don't do timelines, but you know, like I said, I just want to see these things now. And I know our community wants to see things now too. And they turn to us because we're the leadership, and they want to know, you know, when. And so it's like, you know, keeping things out and dialed realistically, but also keeping people understanding, you know, the steps involved in the development process.
That was actually like the same thing that Warden Hansel from Inmates had said. He was like, you know, his biggest fear or like personal hell, I think that was the conversation, was when the community says when, because if you don't have a good answer for when they say when, right, then it's like, you know, really, really tough. You're in a really rough spot. And like, that's definitely something funny that there was a little while ago, somebody like hopped in the Discord that hadn't been there in like over a year. And they're like, so when moon, right? And it's like, whoa. I was like, wow, but you know, you missed some stuff. You've been gone for a while, but at the same time, it's like, you know, we've been working on a lot of stuff. We have a lot of things coming out, and you know, and then so we have Showtime here saying spill the beans, you know.
I have to give a huge shout out to our community, man. And I say this from the heart, and I mean this because, you know, I also did a lot of YouTube work before I even started a project, and I was breaking down other people's projects and talking with founders and engaging in communities. And I really tended to kind of go into and even invest in projects that had great communities and great community support. I have to give a shout out to our community, because they've been so patient and so gracious with us. I know they trust us. They trust what we're building. They trust our experience. They trust that the partnerships that we are building and the work that we're doing is going to pay off. And, you know, there's very few people in there that are really kind of pushing the envelope. And most of them, to be honest with you, it's funny, like they're not even big holders. You know, they're just people who come in, they want to, you know, they want to buy a token and they want to see it 10x in 3 days. And that's not how things work. You know what I mean? We're not inorganically pushing our token. We're not paying influencers. We're not taking that route. You know, we're actually building something that has value and sustainability. And so our community has been hugely supportive of us, and it shows with the diamond hands that we have. You talked earlier about, taking profits. That's great. People are supposed to take profits in this. We're not telling people don't hold and don't ever sell your items, you know, take profits along the way. We're very fortunate that, the NFTs that we released are the first two are still over mint. And this is in a time when things are in a bear market, but people had opportunities to take prices on the rockets up, and some of them did, and I'm glad for them. And maybe they come back and they can double their assets, or they can double their holdings or get more tokens or whatever it may be. But the community is everything to us, and that's why we design things the way we have. We've given out, I think, over 120K ADA back to our holders from the mints that we've done and from the royalties that we've done and everything. We want happy, healthy holders, and that's how you have a good project.
Right. I think the only one of mine that's under mint is Tanks. Even my OG, I bought my OG. So I want to say it was right before Warthog's mint. I think I bought it because I was going to get a free mint, but it's still up like 200 ADA from when I bought it. Dude, I bought it at like 300, and I think the floor is 5 something right now.
Yeah, the UOGs, the UOGs and the lifetime passes were actually free drops. We gave those all away for free, and I think the lifetime loyalty passes are like a 2,500 ADA floor or something like that. And
I couldn't afford one of those at the time.
You got the UOGs early, you got a free drop for all of the NFTs and stuff. We got a lot of plans for the UOGs. We got Rev Share coming up with Riskwise Pro once that's getting ready to release. I can say this. One thing I can say for sure is that Riskwise Pro will be released before the Ultimate Domination game is complete and ready for the first iteration of the public use. Riskwise Pro is going to be a huge opportunity for people to who are holding some of our assets to be part of the Rev Share that we're creating. The premise is to give back as much as possible without taking what we need out of the project to further the project. And, hopefully Johnny and I, we make some money someday too. But, that's again, how you have a healthy project, in my opinion. So, Riskwise Pro, you guys, is going to be a huge competitor to Tap Tools. Shout out to Tap Tools. What they've built is amazing. I think that the barrier of entry is a little bit high. I don't think everybody can afford, the full-blown measure of that. What we're building is going to be very similar, but different in a lot of ways. We're going to have a lot of things that I think only are going to be unique to Riskwise Pro, which honestly, you guys, at this point could come out any day. It could be this week. It could be early next week. We're still working out some bugs with the dev team. We had a little bit of a hiccup because the original dev team that was working on it got into a personal injury and was not able to carry on the work. So we had to turn that over to our dev team who's working on the Ultimate Domination game. They've done a great job, but they had to really kind of backtrack a lot of stuff and kind of redo things the way so that they had the whole scope of everything. And of course, we keep adding things to it and everything. So we're actually in testing right now. We got some people, some good people in our community that we're very, very familiar with. They're out there. They've got the testing role. They're looking for bugs. We have a lot of eyes showing us maybe, hey, have you guys thought about this? Or maybe we could, change this. And they've been very informative to the development of Riskwise Pro. So keep an eye on that. Owning a single risk asset, even just holding one Warthog, one 4 Horseman, one tank, one UOG, you're going to get access to the majority of the tools that we're building. And of course, we got some deeper stuff going on with some of the holding full sets and everything like that. And of course, the UOGs, Rev Share, all that stuff. You guys, look, I highly recommend anybody who's not familiar with what we're doing to look at our recent version of our light paper, our update. It explains pretty much in detail about everything from the game to Riskwise Pro and all the Rev Share, the stuff that we're doing. It's going to be a big deal.
So now
that's awesome.
This draws me to another question. This is maybe a big one. So have you all been working at all with Tap Tools? Like, okay. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to say that. But what I would say is, like, do you feel like there's any, like, between Riskwise Pro's development and Tap Tools, have you felt any, like, animosity or anything other than support, I guess, between you all? Like, have they noticed you all building, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, obviously they know.
Yeah.
But
look, I'm not going to say that there's been animosity. I've never had any direct animosity. No one's come into our Discord and fudding and being ridiculous or whatever. I mean, we all know that there's a couple things to think about. Number one, competition. You have to have competition. Yeah. Competition drives everybody to be better. We believe in that. And number two, there's a lot of stuff that I guess you could say copied or taken an idea and done your own version of it or whatever it may be. We're doing the best we can to make ours unique in its own way possible. Now, I will say this: Riskwise Pro is the brainchild of Johnny Tran. He's the one that's working, mostly with our devs and developing Riskwise Pro, and I'm the one who's working mostly with the Ultimate Domination game because, of course, Risk was my idea because of my love for the game. So we operate independently, but we also operate together as well. So But to answer your question directly, I think that already the fact that Riskwise Pro is about to come out in the wild has already pushed Tap Tools to up their game. I think they've heard some of the things that we've said or talked about openly, and I think they've already kind of moved to do some of those things as well. Now, I'm not saying they're doing it because of that. That's what we're doing as well. We've kept most of the stuff close to chest or whatever, but at the end of the day, competition is better for the people, and it's the people who are using the tools and, you know, investing in the projects and everything. So a lower barrier to entry is not going to hurt anybody. I'll tell you that. We need to have these tools accessible to everybody, in my opinion, and that's one of the driving forces as to why we set out to do that. And I will say this: it's also taken longer than we thought, and it's been more expensive than we thought. But we're on the cusp of that release, and I think people are going to be very excited. And I also think that right now, currently, I mean, given the fact that the barrier to entry is so low, I think our NFTs are undervalued. That is not financial advice. That's just a personal opinion. But I think that you're going to see an uptick in some of the NFT releases that we have, because we're trying to give multiple values to those NFTs every which way that we possibly can.
I do have a question. So we retweeted it earlier. I'm not sure what he means by this, because I was under the impression that they all had the same utility. Oh, dang it. Where is it?
Oh, okay, so you found it now. I know what you're talking about.
Essentially, they were asking, they wanted us to ask why warthogs weren't getting as much love as the horsemen.
I think
I'm not.
No, yeah, it's the horseman.
Yeah.
Was it the horseman?
Yeah. It was the horseman.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, we've actually been asked this question before, kind of roundabout ways. So each NFT set that we have is different. They're all going to be used in the game. Like having an Elite 8 set gets you certain advantages. Having a 4 Horsemen set gets you certain advantages. So, you know, we try to balance those out. Obviously, to maximize the game, you're going to want to have an Elite 8 set. You're going to want to have a complete 4 Horsemen set, and you're going to want to have 3 tanks. And that's going to be your course to going out there and smashing people. But, you know, like I said, each one's different. The Warthogs, there's 33 of them. The Horsemen, there's 22. Now, even when it comes to staking them, because you can stake your you don't even have to like go to the staking site. They automatically stake regardless of whether they're on the secondary or not. The staking amount is different. It's lower on the 4 Horsemen than the Warthogs. The Warthogs are also essentially our Genesis, you know, creation. So we're going to have a little bit more kind of going the way of that Genesis. We've always said the Warthogs were going to be kind of first to act on a lot of the things that we're kind of developing in the future. But, you know, in the game, having a 4 Horsemen set, number one, it's cheaper. It's a lot cheaper to have a 4 Horsemen set than it is to have an Elite 8 set just across the board. So the advantages of having the 4 Horsemen is that you do get 5 extra men per turn, which is the equivalent of owning a continent in the actual Risk board game. And you also get to use the ability to add to your in-game item an extra one. So if you have an Elite 8 set, you get 2. If you have a 4 Horsemen, you get 1. And so the in-game items, I think you can have up to 9 total. I think everyone can have 6. And if you have a complete set of Elite 8 and 4 Horsemen, you get to add a total of 3 more. So that gives its advantages too. But, you know, people want to look at NFTs and they want to see, you know, what's the value and how much can I flip it for and what's the floor at? And that, at the end of the day, for what we're building, doesn't mean anything. So it's kind of like a piece of the whole, if you can put it that way.
100%.
So, I mean, we've had that question before, like for us, because we're coming out with the bosses, and the bosses is going to be half the size of the junkies, and it's like, well, what's going to happen with the junkies? It's like, well, it only makes sense that whatever the bosses get, it's going to take 2 junkies. You know what I mean? Because it's 2 to 1. And it keeps everything level. So like when we finally get the staking platform and everything, bosses will have a 2x multiplier versus the junkies will have a 1x multiplier. You know, and it makes sense, and I understand that. And I'm glad when I was sculpting out my bag that I kept the Elite 8, the 4, and the 3. So I'm set.
You know, I wanted the second set, being the 4 Horsemen, to be cheaper to attain and cheaper to assemble, the complete set to use for advantages in the game specifically. They were designed on that way on purpose. And of course, there's less of them, so we're hoping that will offset the value of, you know, I guess you can say the floor for whatever it may be. But you know, and also we've given the 4 Horsemen the exact same thing as it is with owning Warthog. When it comes to Riskwise Pro, there's no difference. So it's cheaper to buy even just 1 4 Horsemen NFT, just simply to have access to Riskwise Pro. There you have it.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So
Well, John.
No, hold on. Wait. We're here over the hour, but now I have 2 comments because I know Johnny Tran's there in the chat, so he's listening to me. And so what I was gonna say, right, that I wasn't gonna say is basically Tap Tools provides an API that provides certain kinds of information for certain things. So I assume that Riskwise Pro is gonna have their own API. So Johnny Tran, I'd like to talk to you. I'd like to go on a virtual date with you. I'd like to have a really great, intimate conversation with you about that specific detail. But
well, it's not a secret in the freaking Cardano system that we're also building an analytical type style website. You know what I mean? It's not going to be anywhere near Riskwise Pro or Tap Tools. It's going to be our own spin. I mean, I guess they're all pretty much the same. They all do they all get price feeds, they all get CNFT feeds, but everybody does their own spin. So I think that's why, because we're pulling our API from Tap Tools right now. And
but if we didn't have to, we think Risk Gaming is a little bit cuter than Tap Tools. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we're working on some things. We're actually going to be hopefully working with Charlie 3. We just had him on our X Space last Tuesday. Charlie 3 C3. They've been around for a long time. They've got a really intricate system of pulling data and stuff like that. We're working on some things with them. We're hoping that we can, use them and have them help us with what we're doing. Nothing's ever guaranteed until it's locked down. I can't really say too much, but their aggregation of data is top notch in my opinion. They also have some first mover advantages. They're great guys too. We enjoy working with them. Super smart. So
they're great. Talk to them.
Having and contacts in the space is so important, man. We're super. I mean, we have 42 map partners on our risk game, you guys, from collections within, the space, and we enjoy working with people. And I don't think that we were talking at the time when we did that. This has been zipped up.
I know.
I will say this though. Check it out. So we will have a V2 map coming out soon. It'll be a later iteration of the game and everything. We're already collecting, people that we want to work with. You guys are definitely on that list.
Yeah, we locked in. We locked in our spot.
Yeah, we're all good on that. So the ultimate domination game is almost never going to have its final form. It's always going to be updated. It's always going to be adding this and adding that, and taking people's information. And we want that game to be playable and fun for the foreseeable future. So we got a lot of things in plan. We'll have to have a whole nother session one day because we took over a project in Polygon called Nacho Finance. It's pretty freaking amazing. It's got its own decks. We got so many things going on besides just Risk and Cardano. We have a footprint like you guys. We want to expand. We want to be part of the greater NFT space, and we want to go cross chain, and we've got a lot of stuff going on. So
let's be friends because we have some friends over at Algorand. We had some thoughts in the future. Maybe we can,
man. I wish.
Yeah, that's.
I wish I could take this huge pot of beans that I'm sitting on and just spill them all over the place.
Hey,
ready for that.
So he keeps saying spill the beans. I heard something. I don't know. Some seems to tell me about Sol. Is it maybe there's a Solana catch here, or is there's a crossover, or I don't know. I could be. I was just playing the trust.
Well.
All right. Let's
Train.
This is a good quick break. Let's do this picker and give these giveaways real quick. And then
so we're gonna add to that too, right? I'm gonna give away an ultimate CNFT VIP pass.
Yes.
Right?
Sick.
You know what we're gonna do for everybody. So I did add Spill the Beans to the picker. So I have 2 pickers up here from StreamYard. So I'm gonna give you a couple more minutes. Whoever said Spill the Beans. And I have, that's the other one. I have 9 entries on Spill the Beans. So you guys get it in real quick. Spill the Beans. Let this register. And whoever gets picked on Spill the Beans is going to win the ultimate VIP pass.
Let's go.
All right.
Got a lot of plans for this too, you guys. We've got a lot of stuff going on.
I'm going to get on my alt account real quick and type in Spill the Beans. Give me a second. I just can't win anything now that I'm, sad.
And then we have Like a Boss. If you entered Like a Boss, you are going to be entered in. I'm going to do 4 picks on Like a Boss. So we're going to give 3 whitelists away, which are stackable. You won't be able to win 2 of them in this, but if you already have one or you've won one somewhere else, that is a stackable whitelist. and then a Bitcoin package from our sponsored, which I can't believe we have not thrown on the screen. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we actually did a terrible job.
CryptoChips.io.
Yeah, cryptochips.io. Anybody that needs crypto merch in the space, they're fantastic. They have really good quality merch. And what we're giving away is a Bitcoin bundle where you get a bunch of their little Bitcoin merch, and it's super high quality stuff. I think it's like $50 on the website, and you're going to get it for free to your home.
Bro, they got all kinds of stuff. I bought a shirt from them. I bought from AJ Wright's Crypto. I bought one of his Grogger shirts, Get Rich or Die Trying. Or no, Get Rich or Get Wrecked. I'm thinking of an old movie. Get Rich or Get Wrecked, Grogger. And it's a good quality shirt. They got like levitating coins, Cardano coins. They got all kinds of stuff over there. It's freaking awesome. So we have 11 entries on the boss. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. Sorry if I am like lisping and everything and sniffling. I've been sick all week, and this thing will not go away. I was blowing snot rockets before the stream and shooting up with Flonase and trying to get. I mean, I feel fine now, finally. No more body aches, no more lethargy, but it just will not freaking go away. So let's go ahead. Let's share this. Let's go ahead, share the whole window. All right, like a boss. It looks like we got 12 entries.
Yeah, you all have a chance. Look, we got 213 people watching right now. And we only got 12 entries. Are you kidding me?
We're going to leave this up here for a second.
Go, come on.
Come on, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. All you got to do is write like a boss in the comment. That's it.
Even on Twitter.
StreamYard will pick it up. Even on Twitter. StreamYard will pick it up.
X for the newbies.
It's Twitter.
For the children.
Bro,
it's Twitter,
I'm so old. I still call Chase Bank. I still call it Bank One. And it hasn't been Bank One in like 20 years. So I will call it Twitter forever, sir. All right, like a boss. If you guys can see, there are 12 entries, and we are going to hit this one time.
Can you refresh it just in case? Will it stay with like a boss?
Yeah. That's a good thing because I tried to hit it on the StreamYard screen and I was wondering why it didn't work.
Yeah, that's why.
Actual screen. Oh, see? I can't refresh it, bro.
Oh, you can't? That's fine.
No, but right here. We go like this. Boom. You guys will see me enter it right here. Like a boss. And then you guys can see right here, exclude winners when doing multiple draws. So if you win once, your name will be excluded from the second one. Start collecting comments. Boom, 9. What did we have before? Was it 9? No hashtag, Johnny Tran. Like a boss. Or you can put the hashtag, but if you put a space in between it, and it'll pop up. Anybody? So it has to be just like this. LIKE space A space boss. There we go. If you've already put it in there like that, it'll DPD2.
Yeah, DPD2.
What's going on, bro?
Yeah, I saw him earlier. I was happy about it. It made me happy.
Nice to see you in here.
Yeah,
10 entries, 10 entries. And don't forget this entry, spill the beans. This is for a CNFT VIP pass.
Yep. And how many we got there?
11.
All
right, so here we go. Here we go. We can't string this out all night. We're going to do the first giveaway. This is for a whitelist. Crash,
the best CM in the space. Let's go.
There we go.
Congrats, man.
Open a ticket in Discord,
Jpg Empire.
and we will get you taken care of. All right, let's go ahead. Draw again. This is for another whitelist, by the way. And we have
Johnny Tran. There we go.
Hey, it's all the risk team winning these. What's going on here?
So rigged, bro.
So rigged. All right. One last time. This is for the whitelist again.
If it's showtime, I'm going to roll over and die.
That would be
Dude.
so freaking hilarious.
All right,
No,
Bobby Davis. There
No,
we
don't give
go.
it to Bobby
Oh, dude,
Davis.
and the Denver Broncos.
He's
Nice
a Broncos
choice.
fan. Broncos fans don't get to win anything.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, they haven't in a while.
Except
so.
Super Bowls, which I don't have. So
Does that mean you're a Chargers fan? I know you're in Cali.
What's up, baby? Let's go.
Yeah. I knew it had to be some kind of AFC rivalry right there.
Oh, yes, sir.
All right. So now we are going for the Bitcoin package.
Yep.
So this is for the
Bitcoin bundle.
What's it called, John? Bitcoin bundle.
Bundle. Yeah. Jaleesa, look, Jaleesa does win everything. I saw the tweet earlier.
She just won the Boss Cat the other night, right?
Yeah, she did. I mean, that's what you get for being active. We love it. We love Jaleesa.
Yeah.
Open another ticket. We'll get it done.
Let's go.
All right. So now for the big prize.
Spill the beans.
We got 12 entries. Spill the beans. And this is for an ultimate VIP pass, everybody. Let's hit it.
Oof. Oh, Jeff Dukes. Jeff Dukes wins everything. Gosh darn it.
What up, Jeff Dukes? This guy's already got money. He's got VIP passes coming out his ears. Now he's got one more.
Oh, well, but look at that.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it one bit.
Right there. That
Jeff
is a sexy PFP.
Dukes is awesome, man. Shout out, buddy.
And while I got my screen sharing, everybody, make sure all the addresses, all the handles, everything in the description. But make sure you go follow at CNFT Ultimate 777 right here on Twitter. Make sure you follow Risk Gaming Project, Risk Gaming Co. on Twitter. Head over to their Discord. I gotta close that. That's our private chat. Okay, we're not gonna pop that up.
Was that your
their Discord
account?
It's the OnlyFans account. That's actually where we show our feet, but
that's how we get all of the treasury funds.
Yes, that's the only way we were able to take over the project.
I've considered.
So everybody, the Discord links in the description. If not, if you can't get in there somehow and you're a junkie or whatever, get in our Discord. We'll get you over there. But other than that, let's take this down. And do you have anything else you would like to add, Mr. Ultimate?
Yeah, final words.
Man, I just appreciate you guys having me on. You reached out to me, and I'm very happy to get to know more about what you guys are doing in this space. Obviously, we enjoy the partners that we have. We enjoy building and making Cardano great. I'm just honored to be here. Thank you very much. And keep your eyes on Risk, you guys. We are doing a lot of stuff. One of these days, we'll be spilling a lot of the beans that we got coming up. You got to be in the Discord, be active. It pays to be active in there, you guys. But hey, look, everybody just do their best to just try to get along out there, you guys. It can be crazy right now. We're in a bear market, but you know what? Stay positive, stay like-minded. You're still here. Go out there, take your circle of influence that's unique to you and go tell people about some of the great things that are going on in Cardano, and everybody wins. That's just how it works. So peace of love. God bless, and I appreciate you.
Thank you, Ultimate, man. That was fantastic. We appreciated having you on, and this was a lot of fun, right? Like, it's fun, though, right?
Yes, sir.
So here's a classic special question. Who else in this space do you think that we need to talk to and have up here, right? We've already talked to Unforgettable, we talked to Little Thunder. We did even Veggiemates and the Goofs.
Okay.
Right. So we've had some pretty interesting projects up there, but are there any founders that you like? We've talked to Inmates, a lot of these other projects. Is there anybody that you think of that you think we should have on?
That's kind of a good question. That kind of puts me in a position of where there's a lot of names I can pull out of that hat.
Right.
Oh man, that's putting me on the spot, bro. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, right. That's
it's all right. I mean, if you don't want to answer, it's
you already talked to a lot of the people that I would have suggested 1, 2, 3 right there. I mean, obviously, Little Thunder and Bank, they're our closest relationship and partners, and Little Thunder's a legend, man, and Inmates, what they're building and everything is absolutely fantastic. I would go out there and I would throw out somebody that probably a lot of people have not even heard of yet. He's the founder of Golden Snek And it's not just some sort of knockoff meme, token, this, that, or whatever. They're actually building a lot of stuff out there. So I would reach out to Captain Goldie. In fact, I can put you in touch with him. He's a great guy. He's super smart. He's very passionate about what he's building. I think more people need to know about, what they're doing in the space and the way they've reached out and supported people and have appreciated the support. So I'll put you in touch with him, my man. And I'm going to go a little off the cuff. Somebody that a lot of people haven't heard of yet.
That's fantastic. I love that. And I'm excited about that. And I'm trying to talk to, Snuck as well. Luke, I want to talk to Snuck as well, right? Because that's another project. But Eddie, I see Eddie here. And we will be having Eddie talking about Whimsy and all of that and Cyberpunk Platypuses, which we're excited about.
I would have thought that you guys had already spoken to him, considering that you guys,
spoke to him on Lou Creativity, but not on JPG.
Not here yet.
Right?
That's what I thought. Okay, all right.
On the other show that John's cheating on me with, essentially. That's what's going on.
Rumor has it I might be on that show too, coming up here at some point, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Cool, man. I'm
super excited.
I love it, dude. This is a lot of fun.
All right. So
all right, everybody.
We're gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. Thank you, Ultimate. We will see you soon.
Oh, yeah. Rising to the top. Yeah.
Peace. We'll see you. Thank you.
We're out.
All right. So that was a great show. It was fantastic.
Yes, that was an awesome show.
You didn't get nervous.
Concurrent viewers, everybody. You guys are awesome.
You're not even sweating yet.
Get it. Huh?
Said you're not even sweating, and there was a lot,
No. Right? I turned the ceiling fan up a little bit.
Thank you guys for coming out. This was amazing. We appreciate all of you.
Don't forget, nothing said in this video should be taken as financial advice. I'm started halfway through it. I don't even know what it says.
It's okay.
Pretty
we
much,
don't know anything about anything.
We're just shilling a bunch of shits that's not worth anything. Do not take our advice. We're both degenerates. We both have, what is it, John? 98% of our money in illiquid JPEGs?
Yeah. Come on. And I always have to go back to this. And definitely do not buy red wine, hooker blow, gold oil, Inu on Algorand. Definitely don't use Tiny Man to find it because you shouldn't. Don't buy it. It's awful. Thank you, guys. It's been a fantastic show.
Know what? I think that just has to get posted every time. And then when somebody asks about it, don't explain it. Don't explain it. It's so much funnier that way. Because people are like, what the fuck is red wine hooker blow, blah, blah, blah.
Well, the ticker is RWA.
It's much funnier that way.
So.
Right.
Thank you, guys. Good night. It's been great. Peace.
Whoa. Make sure to follow JPG Empire at the John Carter at Desert Crypto. At Seji on X. Give us a like, share, follow, and y'all have a great night.
Peace. Thank you, guys.